Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. This is Paula Reekman, and I am the Relocation Director, and I am going to be walking you through and showing you our training for the 2020 year. So just some quick introductions. Missy Green is the VP of Business Strategies. I am the Relocation Director, as I said, and then Sandy Fogel, which a lot of you have already spoken to and worked with. She's fantastic. She is our Senior Relocation Manager. When we were meeting one-on-one, we did a really fun activity where you introduced yourself and then described or gave a song that described your life. So be thinking of that. You can chime in on our next training. So congratulations, we're super excited for this year, and we are very excited to just see what the year holds and to get to know you all, and hopefully to have just a great year in relocation. Before we dive in, we wanted to show you a new marketing piece that we had marketing create for you guys, and it is the Relocation BHHS ribbon here that you can use on social media, business cards, just to promote yourself and to show your elevated status. So it helps win business that's not even relocation. Again, use it on social media opportunities, and then just include it in any and all of your marketing if you'd like. As we go into this training, one thing that was important for us is that we really just had intentions, and that we were intentional with how we want to handle our department and relocation business. And we loved this quote that everything that happens in the universe, it starts with intention. And so just keep that in mind as we go through this training. This is a short video. Unfortunately, it doesn't play the volume really well when I do recording. So I'm going to also send this out to you in a link if you haven't already received it. And it is just a great video, again, about intentions. So definitely check out that video. So let's go ahead and just address the financial side of relocation. There are referral fees that go up to, I think Curtis now has the highest at 42.5%. And so we wanted to just be very transparent that agents retain on relocation business 40% of the GCI. So if you have any questions about that side, definitely reach out to myself, Missy, or Sandy, and we can help you. So, but what's the good about relocation? There's a lot of great reasons to be included in the relocation team. And transferees are usually quick. It helps you grow your COI. It helps you increase market exposure with your listings. You can represent an extra resource in your business plan, while them and their friend who is also moving. Otherwise, it is business you most likely wouldn't have received. And then really important is that we never discuss commissions or referral fees with the transferee. So first contact clause in relocation, the RMCs or the relocation management company has gone out and created and signed contracts with different corporations. So whether that's John Deere, Cerner, whoever the corporate client is, they have formed a relationship. And what that is that relationship is going to trump or, be more important than an agent and a transferee. So just really important to keep that in mind. So major players, this is just a very short list of who we work with. We are also a part of BHHS. And so just being a part of that network, there's a lot of opportunities just with being with home services and receiving broker-to-broker referrals. So just to help elevate service and get you guys really educated on the world of relo and just different terms, we wanted to go over these abbreviations with you. So RMC, like I said, is the Relocation Management Company. So that's Ayers, Serva, Cardis, Grable, etc. Broker exclusion clause and listing exclusion clause, most likely sales price and suggested list price. Both of those go on the BMA, which is the broker's market analysis. The MUR and the MAR is the marketing update report or activity report. And then the most important person in the entire transaction is the EE, which stands for transferee. So this entire section, red carpet and white gloves, is all on service. So the first priority is that we want you to put yourself in their shoes. Ask them, or think even to yourself, what would you love, need, or want if you were the one that was being relocated? So very important to put yourself in their shoes. Asking the transferee, how do you feel about the move? And sometimes you don't even have to ask them, because you will be able to tell, are they excited just in their tone, or do they seem kind of not too, stoked for the move? So asking them, though, is always a great idea, just to really see what page they're on and how they're feeling. We love this quote: your customer doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So just think to yourself, when is a time that you have really gone above and beyond for a transferee? And then when you're working with our relocation customers, what is something that you can do to go that extra mile? And while you're thinking of that, another good question is, who shapes your client's expectations? So think about it on a day-to-day, your customer, they're going out, they're getting gas, they're going to the bank, they're running errands, they're doing some shopping. Think of these companies that really raise the bar when it comes to service. So here's just a few that us in the relocation department thought really, puts out that wow factor. Chick-fil-A, they're quick, they're efficient, they go above and beyond. Quick Trip, again, quick and efficient. You're in and out within a couple of minutes. Amazon, Trader Joe's, Nordstrom, just great companies that really raise that bar for customer service. And then I actually have a fun story. When I was at a conference in Vegas earlier in March, I had went to the coffee shop, which you see here in this photo, and the barista helped me, was very pleasant and kind. I ordered a very specific latte, and then I also purchased a granola bar and a banana. And I tell you that because the next day I went to get another latte because that one was so good and the service was great. And before I could even start rattling off my order, the barista here knew my order exactly, even down to what type of milk I wanted in the latte. And then I said, oh, I have these two things as well, talking about, again, the banana and the granola bar. And he said, oh, yeah, I already put that on your tab. So he knew, before I even had to show him exactly what my order was. And for me, that was just a wow factor. And I said, I have to take your picture and share it with my agents, because that elevated service really, really wowed me. So keep that in mind as you are working with transferees. So this section is working with buyers. So what are the client's expectations? So one thing to know is that the client is going to be that corporation that's moving the transferee. They expect you to be knowledgeable. They want you to be very dependable, and then also flexible. Sometimes transferees have a change of plans, maybe even last minute, and they want our agents that we put on their files to be understanding and flexible. So what type of changes is this particular transferee making? Are they new to the area? Have they been here before? We always ask whenever we call the transferee on the first initial call if they are familiar with Kansas City or Lenexa, Olathe, whatever the area is. We ask what kind of move is it? Is it voluntary? Are they kind of having to transfer, or they're out of that position? And then a good question is, going back to feelings, is how do you want your home to feel? The introductory call. So like I said, one of us from the relocation department will always call the transferee first. We are going to confirm any information that the relocation company already sent to us. And then we're going to gather a little bit more information specifically as to what type of agent they would like to work with. And then after that, then we can really get a feel for who we think would be a good fit for that transferee. Whenever you call them initially, always make sure that you are mentioning, of course, your name and your company, and then you want to mention the relocation company. So if they're being transferred with Grable, you want to mention that so they can connect the dots and see how you gathered or how you received their information. So go over the information that we send you, price point, when they're going to be in town, what specific area they're looking in, and then also find out what their preferred method of contact is. And then just listen and see what else information they want to provide, and make sure you confirm that before you end the call. So what do they really want? Make sure that you understand their needs, honor any commitments that you have, show properties that are tailored to their specific request, represent their best interest, understand the market, and then know the homes that you're showing. Of course, that's an easy one, but make sure that you have some knowledge of the homes that you're showing and do your research prior to going out. These are some actual reviews. None of them are for our company. They are just put out by different relocation companies to show kind of how and why a transferee was dissatisfied. So in the top left, she was of no value. She's speaking of the agent. She felt like the agent was just kind of making her do all the work herself. And then over on the bottom right, one that really sticks out was, my agent set me up on automatic listings and never contacted me again. So don't be a dripping faucet. Make sure that you're reaching out and giving that personal touch. 8 o'clock. So this year, one thing that we started was really elevating our service for the relocation companies. We want, when a relocation company has a new referral for our area, we want them to think, oh, that company, that's the best company. Let's send it to BHHS. They're going to do awesome. They're on time with everything. They have great conversions. Whatever the case, we want them to think of us and put us on that file. And so one thing that we are requiring of our agents is some new timeliness. One of those is in the initial contact agent report, also known as the ICAR. That is due within 4 hours on any new file that you receive. So if we send you a file at noon, the initial contact report is going to be due by 4 p.m. Your resource center, this is a great resource for you to use. We highly encourage, if you are not fully aware and educated on the site, to get on the resource center. There's tutorials and there's different types of training, just great information on there to use to your advantage. Moving over to competitive listings, again, kind of like the ICAR, there's just some different metrics that we are really putting in place this year, again, just to help elevate us as a company and a department. So we already went over the initial contact agent report. It's due within 4 hours of placement. BMA timeliness. Whenever we send you a new competitive listing opportunity and you go out on your listing presentation, the BMA is going to be due within 48 hours of that listing appointment. Okay? Days on market is typically 120 days. That could vary if the corporate client says so, but typically it's going to be 120. Relocation service, we want to always get great reviews and feedback and surveys. And one of those, one way to do that is on these surveys that our transferees receive. One question says, would you recommend this agent to a colleague? Well, 90% of the time, that's our goal. 90% of the time, we want the transferee to say, yes, loved that agent and would highly recommend him or her. Your pending sale, so your contract information, and then your settlement statement, also known as final sale information, that needs to be submitted to us in the relocation department within 24 hours. So if you go under contract on a relocation file on a Tuesday, Wednesday, we need to have that pending sale information inputted into our system, which we'll go over here soon. BMA variance, whenever you complete a BMA, the list price and what it actually sells for needs to be within 4%. This is a really important metric for the relocation companies. They want to make sure that what we are saying on the BMA for that price is within that 4% of what it sells for. So there's two types of files that we're going to discuss. There's others, but the two most prominent: amended sale, that is when a buyout offer is going to be offered to the transferee. And the other big thing to note is that the RMC amends the buyout, and they are the ones that sign the contract. Now the customer, the seller who actually resides in the property, they will verbally negotiate the sale terms, but the RMC, so Serva, Cardis, whoever, they are going to be the ones that actually sign the contract. Then we have direct reimbursement, which there's no buyout that's offered, and the customer signs the contract and they will submit for reimbursement of closing costs. So this number, $23,150, is a very important number. We are going to come back to it, but we want to just really grab your attention on this because it's something that is very important. So IRS Revenue Ruling 72-339 is the ruling that goes over corporate amended sale listings. So on the left, you'll see that the customer is the seller, and this is the first transaction. He is going to sell his property to the relocation company. There's no closing costs that are incurred or paid, and there's no taxable income to the seller. Over on the right, the seller is now the RMC, and they are going to sell the property to an outside buyer. Closing costs are then incurred and paid, and it's a business expense to the employer. So let's talk about the entire process for a competitive listing. We will first receive that file from the RMC, call the transferee, get a feel for their personality, and of course look up the property in MLS and see if any of our agents have had a relationship with that specific transferee, or if they have a history in that subdivision. So we're going to look and make sure that we're putting the best fit for that subject property. We'll send you the referral, and we'll always let you know it's a competitive and that it requires a BMA. And then the agent will call and complete that initial contact report within 4 hours of placement. Then you'll make your appointment to do your listing presentation, and your BMA is due within 48 hours to the relocation department. We will review the BMA in depth and make sure it's just a solid, professional, grade A report before submitting it. We'll then submit it to the relocation company and copy you. And then hopefully you will win the listing, and that's when the clock starts for your marketing activity reports or your update report. So let's win this thing. First and foremost, call that transferee ASAP. Always mention the relocation company and then the corporate client. We will send you this information and you will have all of that. So when you call, you'll be prepared to mention these two things. Do your homework. Complete a really good BMA. Your BMA should not always look the same. They need to be specific to that subject property. And then once the BMA has been submitted by myself or Sandy, let the transferee know that it's been submitted. And then that's another opportunity for you to thank them for letting you view the property. The BMA is essentially a relocation-specific appraisal or CMA. They vary. Some are 4 pages, but the most common ERC is a 6-page report, and it is detailed. If you have not completed one before, it could take you up to 3 or 4 hours your first time. They are lengthy. A lot of people don't love them. Totally understandable, but they are required on corporate listings. The BMA, so just a couple tips for success. They should be done in a professional manner. Use appropriate comps. All sections must be complete, and then include photos. If you ever need help, if you're having a hard time with comps, if there's something going on, you know, like they're hoarders or there's a strong odor in the property, reach out to us in the relocation department and we will help you figure out the professional and proper way to communicate that on the BMA or in an email. Now let's sell this bad boy. Submit all paperwork to the relocation company as well as your contact in the relocation department, so myself or Sandy. Hold open houses, keep up with all of the reporting. Again, it just looks better if we are submitting the reports on time instead of the relocation company asking us. Communicate feedback with the transferee and the RMC, and then represent the seller the way that you would want to be represented. So important. Remember that number 23,150? Okay, so there was a particular listing, and I believe it was last year, maybe the year before, where the listing was just, it was not selling. Well, finally, after I think a couple of months, an offer came in on a Sunday, and our agent told the buyer's agent, this is a corporate listing. We can't sign this. It needs to be signed by heirs, the relocation company. Well, the buyer's agent said, well, it's this house or another one. And if we don't get an offer accepted and signed today by you, we're going to go to the next property. Well, the agent then, felt like this was a lot of pressure. And so the transferee did sign the contract. Our company had to cut a check for $23,150 to make up for the loss to the transferee. And so it is very important that the transferee on an amended sale file does not sign the contract. I like to think of it as just assume that every listing that you get from the relocation department, nothing can be signed that is in connection to the contract. Okay? If you have any questions on that, definitely reach out to us. We are here to help you. So if that was confusing or just doesn't make sense, definitely let us know. So what's the holdup? It takes on average 3 days to have a corporate contract signed. It goes through an auditing process. But the top 3 contributors to why the contract could be delayed in signing is it's missing addendums, the contract has expired, or the lender letter wasn't sufficient, meaning it wasn't on letterhead, it didn't have the correct sales price, it was out of date range, that type of thing. Property maintenance, if the relocation company requests that you transfer utilities, notify us in the relocation department and we will handle that for you. We do not ask our agents to do that themselves. Moving on to outgoing referrals. So I love outgoing referrals. I like to call them mailbox money, and they truly are easy as 1, 2, 3. So the first step is asking that permission. If you are on a listing appointment, so not even relocation specific, you're just on a normal listing appointment and the customer tells you that they're moving to Dallas, Texas, and you find out they're not working with an agent, ask if you can send a referral for them. That's all you have to do is just ask. Worst case, they say no, but definitely ask and try to get a referral. Then you're going to go onto the erelocation.net site and you're going to fill out the outgoing referral form. It is quick and easy. It won't take you any more than 3 minutes to complete the form. The more information that you can give, the better. And this is for a couple of reasons. One, we want on the other side, because when we send your referral, it's going to go to a relocation trained agent just like you. We want their relocation director or coordinator to have enough information so that they can put the best agent on that file for your customer. Okay, so not just price range and area, but what are they like? Are they a younger couple and they have a new baby? Are they an older couple and they need someone that's going to be a little more patient? Whatever information you would want to know if you were helping them, give that information on the form and we will send it over to the receiving brokerage. So we will send you updates along the way. We'll also send you the assigned agents information so that you can reach out to them and touch base, along the way, along the process. And then sit back and collect the outgoing referral money. So we're going to make sure that you get updates along the way, and then we're also going to make sure that we get your referral check. So very simple and just a great way to grow your income, placing outgoing referrals. So I spoke on erelocation.net. This is our online system that's relocation specific, and it is a great tool. So we're really going to encourage you to use it to your advantage. So this is what your dashboard looks like when you log in. Over to the right, those are your dials, and we're going to walk you through this. So the first at the very top are updates that are due. So anything that's due within the next 7 days is going to show up. So you can see here, this was an agent that had an update due last year. But if you look at the star, it's showing in 3 days, this update will be considered late. Okay, and if you look on the far right, this agent's timeliness was 94%, which was phenomenal. And so we want you guys to use this if you're going on vacation or if you just have something going on where you're not going to be able to access updates. You can go in and complete any update that is due within the next 7 days. The next section is any referrals that are active, and then we have pending referrals. Those will be in the next section. files that are on hold, files that have closed within the last 180 days, and then files that we've had to dead out. For some reason, they did not convert. Over on the far right, we have timeliness dial, conversion for buyers, conversion for sellers, and then outgoings that were sent. So keep an eye on that. Let me go back. Keep an eye on that whenever you log in, and just always try to be in the green. When you want to change a file to pending, again, you have 24 hours to do so to be considered on time. You're going to click on the file. So when you log into your dashboard, you'll see your files listed under active. Click on the file, and then over on the left, you'll see it circled. Click on Add Note. Flag it for whoever the contact is. So Sandy or myself, whoever inputted the file is going to populate first. So you usually don't have to select somebody else, but make sure that's selected the proper contact. And then, is the referral still active? You'll click on it is pending under contract. Once you've clicked on that, a window is going to pop up where you put the transaction address, when it's going to close, sales price, commission, all of that good information. Then you'll hit save. Once you hit save, myself or Sandy will get a notification that you've changed the file to pending. We have to go in and approve the status change. So it will most likely still show as active on your side until we've gone in, usually within an hour or so, and approved the status change. If you need to register an incoming referral, you can also do this in eRelocation as well as submit a referral. Again, the more information that you can provide, the better. So let's get comfortable. We encourage you to get on the eRelocation.net website and play around with it, get comfortable, because we really encourage you to use it to your advantage, but also for timeliness, to make sure that you're going in and doing your updates properly, and all of that good stuff. If you are new to the relocation team, we are asking all of our agents to complete a BMA. What you'll do is complete the BMA. We encourage you just to do it on your own property. Send it to myself or Sandy to review. That's so that whenever we give you a real competitive listing opportunity, you have one BMA under your belt and you're comfortable with the form and the time that it takes to complete it. And then we're also going to have you complete your eRelocation profile. And this is important because, number one, you don't show up on the relocation roster until you've completed that form or your profile. But additionally, if a relocation company asks for more information on you, we're able to send that via the eRelocation profile. So the more information, the better, especially even when it talks about your hobbies and just personal interest. You know, if you're from another state, if you're from North Carolina, you can put that on there. And if we ever have a transferee that's from North Carolina, that may be a good fit. So just keep in mind, the more information, the better, and just to really, you know, sell yourself on that profile. And lastly, keep up the good work. We are so proud of our team. We have outstanding numbers. You guys have just raised that bar and done so well with your relocation files. Your service is doing great. Keep it up. Always strive to give that red carpet service. Conversions, knock it out of the park. Let's win these listings and let's close them. And then timeliness. Everything from your initial contact report is due within 4 hours to your pending sale and final sale information, putting in the contract information on eRelo, sending us the settlement statements. Those are due within 24 hours. So make sure that you're getting that done. It's going to help your timeliness. It's just going to elevate our service, and we're going to wow these consultants. Missy, Sandy, and myself just want to thank you so much for your hard work and for your dedication to our team. We are very excited for this year, and we're very confident in our team. And again, we're here to help you. So if you have questions along the way or a problem arises, please reach out to us and know that we are here to help you. Thank you so much again for listening, and we hope you have a great day, and thank you so much.